built on special request of a rich American, and he had it there in his house, showing it to his visitors, to his guests. In those days there was no electric motor. Also on that instrument there was a handle that was one of the servants grinded that instrument. The foreowner of that instrument, so the owner before Mr. Wendell, he installed an electric motor. Nowadays it's no work for us. Well, anyhow, nowadays we have a huge problem with the instrument. It doesn't function yet with an electric, it doesn't function yet with a paper roll. Instead of that, it functions with a much older system. It works with a wooden pinned barrel. Just to give an impression, songs, that means 6,000 of these metal pins. Each pin is one note. But in the instrument we were just listening to, there is a barrel included of lengths of 5 feet 9 inches, 11 songs, 23,000 metal pins. Here in Germany nowadays, there is only one man left who is able to construct these barrels. And if you want to buy such a small one, he tells you no problem, I can do that, but I have to ask you to pay me not once. Then I've got a waiting list. I'll write your name into that waiting list. It'll take 6, possibly 7 years, and then I can do that. This man at the moment is 88 years old. He can't find anybody who wants to learn the profession. Well, the second generation of the barrel organ doesn't function any longer with the barrel. Instead of that, ladies and gentlemen, it works with appropriate paper organs. Nowadays, there's special software. These papers can be easily produced on a computer within some minutes. So, just a second, I'm rewinding it. Sorry. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that barrel organ was built by a Mr. Oerlein from Mainz. Mr. Oerlein is a good friend of Mr. Wendell, the owner of that collection. He did a wonderful job by constructing this organ, but I have a confession to make. I am not the very best organ finder you can find in that town. That's the reason why I'm always looking for a victim. Do we have any volunteer for grinding the organ? It's not difficult, so I'm turning it out.
We have a good volunteer.
So, it is please turning clockwise. And I've got the most important accessory of the organ grinder. The original organ grinder set.
Oh, right.
Okay. So, if you want to, ladies and gentlemen, the song is called Happy Wanderer. If you want to, if you know it, you can sing with it. Okay, yeah.
Could everybody move back so we can see?
The story is called Schinderhannes, after the main person. Schinderhannes was the German kind of Robin Hood. He lived on the opposite bank of the river, and in those days, that bank wasn't German but French. So Schinderhannes lived there in the mountains or forests, and he was stealing from the rich, mostly giving it to the poor. But he was camped in Mainz. Mainz is nearby, it's 15 miles far from here. And finally, of course, because he was a criminal, he was murdered in Mainz. I don't know, are you going to Mainz?
No.
We're not through there.
Have you passed it by bus or only by road? Okay, because still nowadays, the tower he was murdered, you can see there, it's called the Iron Tower. It belonged in former times to the town wall, and still nowadays there's a small, sign showing that he was murdered there. Anyhow, the pictures are hanging here because in former times, organ grinders also brought the news. They were grinding the organ and singing what happened in the region.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes it was two men, and then they had these paintings with, we call them in German, Moritaten. So one man was grinding, the other one was singing and showing the pictures. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the end of our musical journey. What you have seen today is a private collection. All these instruments belong to one man, to Mr. Siegfried Wendel. When he started to collect, nearly none of the instruments functioned. He restored them himself, and nowadays 95% of the collection actually works. I've told you he has a small workshop in the neighbor town. He himself, he's now 71, his two sons and two more employees are maintaining these instruments.
Oh, wow.
A few of the results you have seen live today, I hope, ladies and gentlemen, you have enjoyed it a little bit. Yeah. In the next room, in the museum shop, there is a guest book. And if you want to, you can leave there a note or you can sign our guest book. I wish you some nice hours here in Rüdesheim. All along your travel, goodbye, or as we say in Germany, auf Wiedersehen.